everybody. Spirit of 420 here because everything I do is, yes, that is correct. So 420, including things like running late, running behind, not being able to get everything done. But that's just part of life. That's just love. That's just life. So any behoo or behoove you, anyway, to behoove you. I'm not going to be on for very long tonight. I am doing a ton of things that just I'm getting a I don't want to say ridiculously, but a very good response on the paranormal investigation, looking to put a team together. To me, that sweet spot is somewhere between 3 to 5 people. I have one secured, and I think another one waiting to hear back. We'll see. Meeting some more though last couple of days, so it's interesting and fun. I just got in touch with somebody, or somebody got in touch with me, I should say, that I thought was interesting because they want to be a part of the team. They were very into it, very respectful, and they said that they were a medium. So I'm waiting to learn more about that. I think that's interesting. Seems like that would be a great advantage on a paranormal team, to have someone who's actually a medium and has the ability, or has already shown the ability, that is, to communicate. It just makes it much easier, right? So, anywho, not a whole lot tonight, like I said. We'll be back on. One thing that I'm trying to do is maintain my my schedule again, because if you remember there for a while, I was not on schedule. I was definitely depressed. So I figure the first thing is just to get used to being on, even if it's just to come on and say hello and goodbye. What I can tell you is tonight, it's not that I'm in a bad mood. So I want that to be very clear. I'm really doing better and staying in a much better mood for the most part. I mean, we all have our ups and downs. That's just part of it, right? But for the most part, I am staying better. I just don't have a lot of time. I'm trying to get some, and I'm not greedy, but I have to get some income coming in, right? Have to get some. I don't have technically a job, so I'm starting these businesses, and I've got to get them working. And I'm trying to do, I won't say the impossible, but I'm trying to do what's very improbable, and that is to have both of them profitable within a lot of P words there, right? Have them profitable within the first 3 months. I know you're thinking that's crazy, but the reality is neither one of these depend on me holding major amounts, financially, major amounts of inventory. So in doing so, it allows me to quickly turn over. Most of it's drop shipping. So if y'all don't know what drop shipping is, please take the time to look that one up. That moving forward, I was going to have Joe on tonight. All y'all know him as Dirty Joe. I'm kidding. Y'all know him as Joe Dirt with 2 T's. And he has a simple way of looking at things. Just dig it, man. Dig it. But Joe Dirt will be on again soon, but he ended up having to do some things that have to do with dirt because he was working on his plants tonight. And the one thing I will tell you as a consumer of 420, the harvest always takes precedence, right? Just like family always takes precedence. And even, I mean, that's part of what I'm talking about right now. It's not that I don't want to be streaming. I want to, and I have a lot of new plans, a lot of plans for the future. I've already got the devices. I have everything. It's just a matter of time. And as I was even telling Joe, once these companies, they are truly, once everything's in place, they're just tinkering, but for the most part, they run themselves. Okay. Yes, I'll still have to do customer service, but I mean, that's normal for any company. All I'm telling you is once that happens, I'll be able to get on the game and start streaming. Things will start moving around me. And what I mean by moving around me is going to start to change he's always going to stay, but going to start to change the surroundings and put some new aspects in here or there. The air conditioner is almost not needed because we are coming to the end of summer already. When it comes to living in Colorado, I'm telling you right now, we're near the end of summer. In fact, we have a cold front moving in the next couple days, if I'm not mistaken. So that's fun. I mean, I like it personally. I prefer, that's why I freaking moved here, was because I do prefer the cold and the snow and the ice and all that shit over the great for a drive. But no, I prefer that over the desert. Although I do dig, I pretty much, I'll put it to you like this. I don't know who out there is like me, but I dig extreme geographical locations, so if it's extreme, any of it really, in fact, this really isn't extreme in comparison to what I'm thinking of, like Alaska or parts of the state you could say are extreme, and they're always covered with snow almost year round. That's an extreme to me, geographical weather pattern, right? Or living in just constant fucking heat and like just bearing down, or constant rain, like Seattle, they live in an extreme. It rains just all the damn time, right? That's fucking extreme, and you got to be cool with it. I think I'd be cool with Seattle, by the way, because even though it's extreme, there's always a good Joe to catch. It's been that way since the 80s. Thank you, Sub Pop. If you don't know Sub Pop, Google. We're in that great day and age now where Google's like, remember when we were growing up and in class, like anything that became a debate, you immediately grabbed one of two things. Do you remember what those were? You either grab the dictionary, right, to look up the word and get its meaning, or you grabbed a fucking encyclopedia, most likely a freaking Britannica. I mean, I know they're still around, so when I say this, I'm being facetious, but are they really still around? Does anybody give a shit about encyclopedia? No, we have Wikipedia and Google to the rescue. And here's a funny thing. People will now believe Google and Wikipedia over a damn encyclopedia, and I'm not bullshitting. They'll be like, nah, I Googled it. That's old information. And I'm not saying that sometimes it's not old information, but it's not always old information. Sometimes the information online is straight up BS. But hey, who am I to tell you that? You should know these things, right? By the way, if you're wondering what these things are, this one and where is it? Here it is. This one here. They are both full of ashes. There's another one here that you can't see that's just out of the. See that? That's the one that holds my phone that you never get to see. Yeah, it's just out of view. From me, not you. No, from me, you, not me. Anyway, for those of you who might be tuning in the first time, thank you for joining me. For those of you who have seen me and heard me before, thank you for joining me. I can tell you with all certainty, just stick in there. Things are going to grow. Things are going to get better. Obviously, the team will have its own channel, but anything I do with the team, I'm going to post on here. And I do plan on one of the things that I have the ability to do here is live. So starting a new channel, just on a side note, when you start a new channel, you don't always have the ability to immediately live stream when the account is new, right? So one of the things I will say right now is, because I was thinking that it would really be fun to live stream these investigations, especially some places like, because I'm not, paranormal is anything outside the norm, right? Anything. And believe it or not, to me, that includes urban exploration. It is not normal if you really think about it. It has become something, I would even call it subnormal. And what I mean by that is nowadays, it is absolutely normal to see a part of town that's just decrepit and nobody's had a part of it or been a part of it for a long time, right? Come on, camera, get back in there and focus. So, all right, boom. All right, let's do this. Go one brighter. Is that as bright? Is that? Oh man, really? All right, is that better? Oh. All right, I don't give a shit. You can still hear me, and you kind of get the gist of where I am. I have to fix that. Sometimes these auto, it's bothersome, and I don't understand. It's kind of freaking me out because it's normally not a problem if I go brighter. But nothing I'm doing, even changing tone, we'll just stick there. How about we just turn off? There we go. Hey, how's it going? This is the way I'm going to start streaming now. I figured you guys would like it. It's more like I'm the anonymous guy. Anywho, back to what I was saying. Going on any investigation, particularly though, like urban exploration, or and to me, it's not really normal. It has become, that's what I was saying. It's not really normal. It has become normal really since, I guess, if I'm looking at it from trying to be as fair as possible, it's probably been normal since shortly after World War II, where because the war was over, they did have a bit of a, there were certain things that no longer were needed. And so there was a lot of manufacturing that just all of a sudden stopped. So that happens, then you get places like this. And I think they're really cool. I've actually worked in some old places. It'll be interesting to see if some of those old places have literally shut down. But if you're talking about doing paranormal investigation, here's what I know is we're all energy, right? Everything we do is energy because it all comes down to atoms. We've proven this with our own eye, right? You can see, you can just keep going small enough and small enough and small enough until you get to the molecular level, and boom, it's just pure energy. That's what we are. Now, having said that, if everything is pure energy, then doesn't it just make sense that A, number one, everything is connected, B, there's going to be a residual amount of energy, okay? And anybody who argues residual, like, think about batteries, right? Think about batteries that are completely dead in the sense that they won't give life to the machine maybe that they're meant to happen, but there's still a little bit of energy left in there, right? Especially in old batteries, just on a tangent, right? If you're talking about some nickel metal hydrate, that shit builds a fucking memory. So you end up having a lot of energy that just never gets used. But back to the point, there's residual energy. So to me, whenever you're talking about a place, right, that used to carry a lot of people, especially manufacturing, textile plants, that kind of thing, even just business offices that did a lot of volume, right? That had a lot of foot traffic. To me, these places are going to be great to find either residual or actual intelligent hunting. And to me, either one is pretty cool. Obviously, one gives you the ability to communicate. Excuse me. That would be intelligent. And residual is really just like cool to see, but it is fucking cool to see. So hang in there, folks. What is the first day? Let's see what that is. I know you're like, is this really your show? Do you just sit there like that? No, I was looking at first day of fall. I'm guessing it is September 20, right? September 23rd, actually. Okay, September 23rd. I would have assumed because it seems like they're always on 20 or 21st, but okay. So September 23rd will be the beginning of, where are we at right now? This is the 19th. Okay. That'll be the beginning of season 6. I'm not going to give you my word because lately, and I am so a man of my word, but lately it has been hell freezing over for me to keep every word that I say the way that I used to be able to. So what I'll say is I am going to work my damnedest. In fact, I'm going to start to get the artwork probably this week. That way, the sooner I get the artwork, the sooner I can make it. And one thing that bothers me is no matter what, I still have to have an intro for summer because I had new artwork with Skylar, and I have to. Let's just call it a morning father, whatever you want to say, but I just have to make it. But more importantly, I do plan on having it because fall will be the final time. Well, it's planned that that'll be the final time that Sky's art, Sky's likeness makes it into the but I may end up changing that. I may do, because fall is when he died, September, October, right? Like almost exactly 1 month in. So maybe it would actually be cool to maybe every fall after this, every fall season, do one. I think I'll do that. I like that idea. That way it's in, what's that word? Commemorative. Wow. Yeah, I would probably do it every single season. But if I'm being completely and forthright, honest, between A, it costing money and costing more money to do, and B, there's a part of me that feels like I have to let it go. And if I don't want to let him go. He's going to stay there for as long as I can imagine, however long I'm here. He'll always be, it may not always be that size. I may get a smaller one, whatever, but he will always have a picture hanging in memorial of him. However, to have him on Spirit of 420 artwork every single, do you see where I'm going with this? And hopefully some of y'all can see my side of it. It just seems and feels fitting to at some point let it go. But then once a year, maybe I'll just do it for the month of October, even. Maybe that's what I'll do. I'll think about it. I'll do something. But I did smoke my entire joint, and in fact, I'm now hitting a roach just to have something to smoke on here. So it seems like it's probably as good a time as any to call it a night. The real gist of tonight was that to make two things clear. Number one, even when I don't want to, I'm going to come on here and say something nice. And it's not that I don't want to, but even when I don't want to, or I may not have exactly the time, because obviously I'm not staying here for over an hour tonight. I need to do this, right? It's good for me. It's good for my subscribers who get what I'm doing. And I think if you subscribe, you do get what I'm doing. And hopefully we will gain some more steam this year. I know we will. How much will be dependent upon me and you. So when I do say that, please remember to go out there, and I think it's over here, yep, somewhere in this area. Remember to hit the little like button. I know it's a pain in the ass, but hit that like button for me. And also share, just hit share and share the video with somebody else and say, hey man, check this guy out. If not this one, then one of my other better videos, right? Because this one is not necessarily one of my best. But at least there were no technical difficulties. I can say that. So that makes it so 420, folks. It's funny. I always say this, and somebody said it back to me. I thought it was cool in the sense that it's usually me saying it, but when somebody said it back to me, it was nice to hear it. So I know, A, I'm not the only one saying it, and B, someone cares enough to say it to me. And it's the same thing I say pretty much at the end of every show, and that is, don't believe. Here, I'm not going to tell you what not to believe. I'll say it in a new way. Always believe this. There is a reason for you. That reason makes you incredibly special. If you even think about the fact that you're different and that no one else can think for you or speak for you or do for you, right? That makes you special. That makes you a piece of a puzzle. And if one piece is out of whack of that puzzle, then it's not the complete picture. So know that you are special. And what I was beginning with starting with is that, the powers that be want to tell you that you're not. They want you to believe that you are that little tiny speck of sand on an ocean beach, right? And that you mean nothing more than the other specks of sand. That is absolutely not true. And if you take that same analogy, right, and imagine that there wasn't the 1,000 bits of sand on there, then it wouldn't be a beautiful beach. And it takes all those pieces of sand working together, just like it takes all of us working together to move forward, to do things. Money and power are not what makes you important. You being here at all is what makes you important. So do something with that life, and don't worry about how much money and power. Worry about how many people you help and how many people you affect in a good way. Maybe that'll just give you a better day altogether. You never know. What I do know is I love all of you guys. Sincerely mean it. Each and every one of you, including myself, we are all special. We all add to part of it. It's why there's 6 degrees of separation. It's why the butterfly effect exists, right? If it didn't exist, then it wouldn't matter when something happens on the other side of the world. It's tiny and seemingly insignificant, but it's not. It's all significant. Even the little things matter. I love all you guys. Have a wonderful evening. Have a wonderful weekend. And I will see you again on Monday. Peace out.
I switch hit, I'm a strange fuck. Consist on ain't something I could say well. Throw my change into the wishing for a change well. Wish a day is swell life for the next come. And when the next come, pretend that it's the best one. Like I ain't even gonna try and say that to the next one.